And good evening, Westborough. This is meeting number 15 of FY 2026 pursuant to Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, an act extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency. This meeting will be conducted in person and via remote means in accordance with applicable law. This means that members of the public body as well as members of the public may access this meeting in person or via virtual means. In-person attendance will be at Memorial Hall inside Town Hall at 34 West Main Street, and it is possible that all or some members of the public body may attend remotely, with in-person attendance consisting of members of the public. This meeting may be accessed remotely via the link given in the meeting agenda. When required by law or allowed by the chair, persons wishing to provide public comment or otherwise participate in the meeting may do so by in-person attendance or by accessing the meeting remotely as noted. Additionally, the meeting will broadcast live in real time via Verizon channel 28 and Charter channel 192 or via Westborough TV's online platform at westboroughTV.org and youtube.com/WestboroughTV. Here we go. Let's get started with our agenda. And looking at the folks, we don't have anybody for the public comments. We'll go next to the next topic. And before we move to the budget, I think I want to just give a quick announcement to the members of AFC. Unfortunately, Josh has switched his roles and jobs, so he has submitted his intent to get off the WFC so that he can focus on his new assignment. And which means that John Arnold will be looking for a new person to join in the committee. So more to come on that. But I think what I want to publicly say is thanks, Josh. I think he was one of those first ones whom I interacted with along with Walter and John. And I think we will definitely miss him. But I also wish him all the best for whatever he does. And I hope one day he'll be back into this committee or the other in terms of public service. So that was one. I think we can talk about, while I was reviewing his liaison assignments, I think one of the critical ones that I saw was the police. So that is something which I think we can discuss about when we come to liaison updates, like who would cover for him, especially when we are entering in the phase of the budget discussions. Who would be our point of contact for? I have something in mind, but I would love to hear from you as well. Any?
Yeah, Josh took on a lot of assignments in the last few days, so there's probably a lot of openings there.
Well,
the good thing about this session is you have the budget summit that covers a lot of them, but if we have follow-up questions, somebody will have to contact. It's a good point.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, looking at the ones which are, I think one thing which, Jane, your time you did good was minimal versus high commitment versus involvement, not commitment, involvement. Commitment is fully for all, but involvement. I think what I figured out was police was the one which I think has a very high involvement as well. So and visibility as well. So something we could talk about. But yeah, thank you, Josh, if you're hearing.
Would you be able to share the worksheet? I'll see if I can pick off one or two maybe.
Sure. Yeah, I have that handy. I don't know if I can share, and you want to take a look now?
No, we can go after. I'm fine waiting till after the meeting.
Sure.
I have to clear with management.
I don't actually have any liaison assignments.
No!
So
that's true. You ducked because you were the chair.
I wasn't going to point it out
you had
until it
lots.
came up. I wasn't going to, but I don't
So
currently
before I
have
speak my mind, thank you.
And you spend so much time with the police. I mean,
I actually supervise an entire police department and spent a good portion of my day with them today. Not that I
you
know
go.
anything
I
about.
was going to say, you sound like an expert.
I don't think that my police would necessarily agree.
Awesome. Okay. That's that. I think we want to go ahead next with the FY27 budgets as well as the warrants discussion. Before I start with the warrant, right, I think in terms of the budget, did anyone have any questions after the review or something we want to discuss as a committee together in the open forum?
Actually, I would at a high level, which is that, the advice that you gave at the last meeting is that we're taking more of a collaborative approach as the AFC, and we're looking to empower those groups that come to us with recommendations, correct? This was in response to one of our members, rather than that we're going to be questioning them about the budget that they might present to us, or a portion of the budget, correct? The tone that we're taking is more of a collaborative, advisory, consultative role, even at the meeting on the 29th, correct?
I don't understand what you're saying. I mean, one, you should always be collaborative, but
No.
you do get to ask questions. You don't get to make decisions on what they do, but you can vote for or against it. But you certainly are welcome if you don't understand something or want more explanation or want any understanding. The point of the summit is to ask questions. So I hope you're not discouraged by that. So I didn't fully understand your comment, but you could elaborate maybe, or others can chime in.
Actually, I will, because our newest member, I think, had asked for clarification at the last meeting as to sort of the approach that we take when budgetary, content is presented to us. And of course, I'm explicitly pointing out the collaborative aspect for the following reason, because I think there was a clarification that was needed, that we're not here to contest, or question in a way that might appear like we are contesting any kind of budgetary decisions made by the respective groups that come before us. But instead, we're taking on a more, advisory / consultative role, rather than questioning in great detail, some of the elements of the budget that may be presented. For example, if we may not be in agreement with some allocation or, some aspect of a budget that's presented to us. So that's what I'm commenting on. I hope that helps.
Yeah, I don't agree with your statement, I guess. And I think we are allowed to question aspects of the budget.
Okay.
You just can't. You can't tell them what to
dictate.
do, but you can ask them to justify whether it's to your satisfaction or not. I mean, I think the tone always has to be respectful. Maybe that's what I'm looking for.
Yes.
But the whole point of talking to us is it's a warm up for town meeting, and the questions that we have, other people might have, or may have other questions too, but we might have questions they might not, because we study it in more detail. And it's a good chance for you to learn, at the DPW or the fire budget, why do you have this, why do you need so much for this line or something like that? And they are generally very happy to explain why it is. So I hope we didn't discourage people from asking questions. Actually,
that's
about it,
helpful.
Andrew, too. I mean, you've been around a long time.
Add something?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Okay, so I think a large part of our role is to ask questions that the random town member might want to ask. So if something doesn't make sense to us, we want to get clarification. Our general assumption is that the people are doing jobs, know how to do them, and are doing them well. But because we represent different members of the town, in a way, we're allowed to ask questions to get clarification, to make things make more sense. Okay, because at the end of the day, if we don't think something makes sense, then we are likely to vote against it.
Okay,
So-
okay.
Or
No,
to
that's
recommend
helpful.
against it.
So how does us asking a question and us getting a clarification will help the random person in the town meeting asking the same question? The question which we ask, I mean, the response which we get, will that somehow be incorporated into the documentation which the town members will review?
Yeah, so we create the
Quite
R&R
possibly.
that's handed out at town meeting, in which we explain how the committee has voted on each particular item, and then explains why people voted for or against in order to sort of pre-answer some of those questions, right? And the idea is that we're going to spend more time with each of the department heads and ask probably more questions than there reasonably is time for on town floor. So the expectation should be when you get to town meeting, for the most part, people assume we've asked a lot of the questions, we really dug in, and that our vote represents sort of the general consensus of the committee, and our comments are shared in the book. So really our goal is information gathering and sort of gaining an opinion on each of the items, as opposed to sending department heads back to make changes or something, right? And I think that that's where I think we're at the end of the process, really weighing in. So, I mean, I think it's really easy to look at it in terms of capital projects. The budget gets a little bit more difficult, but if you're looking in terms of just a capital project, they come in, we'll use the pool because we voted against the pool last year. It failed at town meeting. So the rec center said, we have a pool, we want to spend a significant amount of money, and we had a lot of opportunities to ask questions, see their presentation, go through it. We said the pool might be great, but we're concerned about the cost. We're concerned about the bidding process because they only got one bid. We have these particular concerns. We as a committee voted against it. And then in the book explained, while the pool seems to be a great feature, here's all the reasons we weren't comfortable at this time.
Okay.
In a way that just allows us more interaction than the entirety of town meeting.
So
Just to add to that just slightly is, if we had a question, and often whatever presentation would be given at town meeting, often the proponent would include, say, the additional information or the clarification, or change their presentation to include information or mention a comment. So that might be how it gets
Yeah.
into it, but not every comment we make or question we have, unless people watch our wonderful, Westborough TV broadcast, which
But it's
a lot of
everyone
people
at
do.
home.
Yeah, of course.
All of the
everybody is.
townspeople are home
Right.
watching.
Streaming
So
it. So,
Oh, the AFC
I am.
there you go.
It's the AFC meeting as well as the summit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're both on.
Westborough.
They're
No, I
available
understand
for
it's on,
watch,
right,
but
right.
so we tend to have an influence on presentations. I would say.
Yeah.
I think a part of it too is us doing our due diligence.
Right, sure.
Yeah, that's a key
exactly.
role that we're doing.
Exactly.
So along with our votes on every single article, the comments which
Yes.
lead to the questions we ask are also documented to a certain extent.
That as well as how
Probably
we
not.
have voted on it. So not all of us may have voted, like some of us may agree or may not agree. So we would express this not through our votes, but also through our comments, which get published to the town in the town meeting when they
So
decide.
just keep in mind the comments on any article
comments
are
are
usually
short.
a little, not even, I wouldn't even call it a
Pithy.
paragraph. So
Pithy.
we try to summarize it down to
Yeah.
smaller things, not huge detail.
Right.
And I think to build on what Walter was saying, the key here is that this is a dry run for the folks who are presenting. Yes, exactly what we say feeds back in, but it also, we get multiple bites at this apple. So a lot of those folks are going to be back with us again. So we'll have had time to hear what they say, digest it, and go to the next level. So I do believe that we have an opportunity to dig a lot deeper than in other cases, not adversarially, but it's the time for us to try and buy an opinion and for them to see where they may need to present things more clearly.
Yeah.
And if it's really bad, a couple of people here have been open about saying, you should change this, make sure you mention this, that kind of thing will influence how they may present it at town meeting. So.
And I think as a newer member, you may approach this year more as a learning experience than as a know-it-all experience, to put it that way, because there's a lot to learn about municipal finance and how municipal municipalities run and operate that I'm still learning, and I've been doing this now, I think this is year 4 or something. So I think
I think
that's
I'm
a
on year
good part
12,
of
and I'm going to say there's things that are sometimes misdefined. So you're going to ask a question, they're like, this is the way it must be done in order to be compliant with the state. And at which point you kind of go, oh.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I'm just, observing everything
Yeah.
right now. I mean, like, every meeting is a new experience for me. I'm just learning
Yeah.
how you guys talk and how do you
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
everything here.
Yeah.
So,
And even
Yeah.
as we do it, we're evolved so much right now.
Yeah.
I feel like this is almost like a new board because, especially if we're going to change one more person, right? We're going to have a huge
we just need
change
the lower
from, say,
half
2
of the
years
alphabet.
ago. So,
Yeah. But I mean,
Sorry, guys. So the key takeaway from that is, I don't think anybody would advocate an adversarial approach with any of our, downstream groups that we support. However, asking the tough questions in order to support greater insight and greater opportunities for improvement, that
Absolutely.
is acceptable.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
absolutely.
perfectly said.
And-
Perfectly said. Yeah.
So can we,
And sometimes it's not even a tough question that opens up like a snowball of, oh, wait a minute, there's more we need to think about this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah. And this actually gives a perfect leeway for us towards going towards the summit as well, right? So I think in terms of the timeline, we know that the annual town meeting is going to happen in March. I hope all of you have got the dates as well for it. It's March 20.
March 21.
March 21st, yes, March 21st. So whatever we are doing from now until March 21st really starts, I think, in a very repetitive process, in the sense that summit will not, I wouldn't say that summit is our final time where we question, but it's being able to understand from each of the departments on why they are asking for, or why they are spending in the way they are spending or they are planning the spending, not they are spending, but they're planning the spending for FY27. So it gives you a chance to hear them out, as well as figure out how complex is what they are presenting. Will the taxpayers or will the town who are reading through these budgets be able to understand or not? If they are not, you are not able to understand, or you feel that there should be some more transparency to it, you can ask for that. But summit is more of that. Then subsequent to summit, I think we will meet more often, and that will be more of, okay, post summit, whatever you have grasped. And of course, yes, you are new, but none stops from you doing an independent analysis of those financials as well that are presented to you on what's making sense to you. So, you can take your own personal independent analysis plus what you have heard from the summit, and then we come back again to the meeting, sit and decide, okay, which department do you want to hear more? Or, you have some questions. What do you want to hear more on from the warrant perspective or from the budget perspective? So it's a pretty intensive, I would say, process which goes right from the time where we hear from each of the departments until March, which is approximately like 1.5 months with many, many meetings. I think we can talk about those meetings as well. So, yep.
and for the summit, right, everything's been vetted out by the school committee, right, for the school budget, and the select board has reviewed the town budget yet?
No, so
Hasn't been
the
vetted?
authority that would have looked at, the town manager is recommending
Christie.
the town budgets. The select board will be it's a 2-board meeting, so they'll be there and listening at the same time we are.
So they haven't had a chance yet to weigh in?
No, this is
Okay.
and it's not the whole budget. It's really, this is a good way. The point was, these are a lot of the big important groups that both the select board and the AFC would want to have a presentation from.
Yeah.
So you do this, and I don't know that we'd have enough meetings to almost do them all if we didn't have it. So this gets them all together in one place, and we get to hear the comments from the select board, and they get to hear our comments, and you cover a lot of the big ground in one shot as a good kickoff.
But it's been vetted by Christie and by the school committee,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're seeing something that's already been, I'll call it scrubbed a bit, and
Oh,
gone
sure.
through.
This is their
iterative
recommended
processes.
budget.
Yeah.
Okay,
And then
Yeah.
we make
So just-
recommendations as the select board will also put their recommendations.
To
Okay.
give you some history, prior to having this budget summit event, the AFC used to meet routinely Monday and Thursday nights until about 11
Well,
for the
can't stay up
entire
that
So
season.
let's not complain about mine.
Okay, so
no, we
Walter
get
will
it.
turn into a
it
pumpkin.
took a lot of time before we did the summit because sometimes we had to have the
Yep.
police department back 2 or 3 times or the school committee back 2 or 3 times. And this has cut out a lot of the bounce back.
Yeah, and
We
that
still
makes,
have them extra.
but that makes perfect sense. So if we looked at the warrant articles, the big ticket items in there, and we look at the budget summit agenda, they perfectly align with all the major categories that
Right.
we would want to review.
That's why I noticed like IT is one of the presentations this year. It's not usually, right?
Right.
So
Conservation
I think-
was on there.
conservation, I feel like usually is just because they always have
We've had them come
something.
when there's something's.
They got
special.
15.
Well, it's like
15
this year, she also has,
I'm looking at that. Yeah.
one of the groups coming in, because we've never done the community preservation
Oh, that's
funds
right.
before.
Give me-
So that's new. I
Yeah.
don't know if that would be a regular feature.
Yeah, so
but
she
it
does
is
a-
new and different, and then both boards can hear at the same time. And
Yeah, okay.
it's an efficiency thing, but I also like the synergy of hearing other people's questions because, the select board people live this stuff all year round a lot more than we do. And so it's interesting to hear their perspectives, but we bring more of a random citizen person,
We're totally random.
viewpoint.
And we're allowed to have different opinions
Sure.
because we're representing different parts of the community.
Already. We're ready to go.
Yeah, it's a lot. You'll be worn out, but at the end of the day, it's
Yeah.
it's a fire hose of information, but it's a great way to kick off. Yeah.
Well, there'll be lunch given.
Yes, there is lunch.
So I need to also
And
have
snacks
that
in the
next step
morning,
of collecting who is veg and who is non-veg because I've been reminded to get that information as well. Yeah, but I think going back to what you said, Walter, I think to your point, Terry, I think one of the favorite questions, and I want to say that these are the questions we have to ask, but one of the favorite questions that I have seen in the 2 summits that I have attended is that there is a budget that the department proposes, but then the budget that town manager, after, like you said, scrubbing and vetting with different departments, the town manager proposes. Sometimes it's the same, but a lot of times it's different from what is being proposed by each department. So one of the favorite questions also comes up as like, what were the drivers behind that change? Like, why are we asking more? Why are we asking less? And there's a lot of background to it as well. Some which comes from the town manager. Some of it you may find from the expenditures as well that have happened. Like the expenditure probably hasn't been that much. So why do we need so much amount of budget to be allocated if, let's say, the money has not been spent previously? So a lot of those things come out in the summit, as well as it can happen through our own analysis as well. All right.
One quick question.
Yeah, please.
Are the articles already draft version of the articles presented to us so far?
Well, we're at version 2 of the warrant. Well, historically, we'll probably be at version 5 or 6 by the time we get done. The warrant will close at probably about the 3rd week of February.
Okay.
So they keep getting added and changed until then.
Where do I get a copy of that?
On the town website,
Okay.
or we can email you one.
Yeah.
But it's available on the town website.
I've
And
actually-
if you want to go to town hall, they'll print you one.
Yeah, they do have some printed.
They just print it. They just like,
Yeah, it's not unusual for her to bring a new version to, and sometimes updates to our budget books at this, if they know that certain things have changed, and give us sheets that you can put in your 3-ring binder that have changed at the budget.
Yeah, I'll post a link to the chat right now so you have it.
Thank you, Saroj.
Thank you.
But it's basically every time, if you sign up, If you go to the town website, you can sign up and ask for notifications and you get to choose which ones.
Yes.
So I get, certain ones like our board and select board and stuff like that, but you can also sign up for the news blast. So when they release the new warrant version that comes out, I get an email saying, here it is.
Well, I think Christie or the chair usually lets us know when
That
there's a new
too.
version.
Yeah, well, it was sent out, but
Yeah.
I don't remember
If I get it, I forward it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
you were on the committee at that time, being that you joined about a week ago, right, or 2 weeks ago. So, yeah. So I would expect we'll have a version 3.
Okay.
When I stopped in today, because did stop in today to pick up stuff, Christie is working on version 3, and it was unclear whether or not it would be ready this evening. So I have version 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna presume that, so basically what's available online, the link that I just posted, that's version 2, correct?
Yeah.
Because she hasn't been able to update. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it goes online really quickly from when she gets it ready.
Yeah, I think one of the feedbacks we had for Christie also in the last AFC meeting was if we can have like a proper versioning so that we can know what's the most latest one or when it was, what's the most latest one, because I found it a little confusing at times to know what's on the town website. It is the most latest one or it is the one which has been updated and probably shared with us as a hard copy. But I just am not sure if that same hard copy is put on the
think
town website.
I think the town website is as current as we are.
As we are.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Awesome. I think, and also regarding the budgets, I think, Terry, you had an update from Asabet. You reached out as well, right?
Right. So we invited the aspect superintendent to come to tonight, and he had a conflict, which he couldn't change. So he just asked if we wanted him to come at another date. So he's just waiting for us to get back to him.
Okay. So I think that's one thing we should also decide probably today, what day would be best for us to obviously, I have got the room booked for next week, but I don't think we want to meet next week before the summit. I think that will be overkill, but yeah, after the summit, probably when we can
One
think
of
about.
those first weeks in February, like February 2nd or 5th or something.
Yeah, yep.
If he's
Summit is on
available.
next Thursday, right?
I can reply back and just
Summit is
copy you,
next
Prashant.
Sure.
Okay.
But I think one of the things which also I wanted,
If they're sort of ready to go, it'd be good to get them on the early side because
Yeah.
there's so much stuff that you gotta wait till the end. Like if they haven't finished the zoning stuff, you can't have that till the end. And so if they have
It gets crunchy.
if they have their proposed budget ready, then having him in early February makes sense. Just
But do we want like a 20-minute just overview of like what the new programs are about? And we're not reviewing his budget.
no, they normally present
Bring
at least
it?
grandly what their budget comprises of
Okay.
and the towns involved. They usually give a pretty good presentation. I think you just want to set the expectations of about 20 minutes, not like an hour,
Yeah.
45-minute thing. But they'll do it. They go to all the districts and generally present. So
So I can tell him to brush off what he did a year ago and update it.
well, we didn't have them last year.
Oh, we didn't? Okay. All right.
So that's why with all the new members too,
Yeah.
and not having them had it
It's
last
worthwhile.
year, it makes sense to have them come. So you have an understanding. They get an update how many students are there and what they're doing. And
Sure.
I've always found it interesting, but yeah, you got to keep it to
yeah,
in context.
Okay, so
as Andrew said,
first week.
we don't
First
pick
week,
their
yeah.
budget.
I'll
They
send you
tell
one.
us
sure.
what it is. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
But that also brings me to the other point about, I think before we move to the warrant as well as the discussions, I think for the next 2 months, I know, Terry, you had mentioned about your non-availability in the first week of March, right?
Correct. I'll be away.
You'll be away in the first few weeks of
I'll be on vacation.
Yep, which will be in the March. Anyone else has, because it would be good. Okay, Beth has it.
Yeah, I'm away actually in China, March 21st.
during town meeting.
Oh,
Well,
Yeah.
we've already done our job by then.
I know, but I just thought I'd mention, I don't know how much before that I'm leaving for China. I don't think it's that much, so I'll probably be there through most of the work.
Okay.
And then I'm just gone.
Yeah, we have to close it before.
So do you want us to just
March
officially like send
16th.
you, if we're away, we'll just send you a note?
Yeah, that would be good to know because I mean I have practically booked Monday and Thursdays for entire Feb and March until except the President's Day holiday on February 16th. So it will be good to know who is, because that will help us build, because we would need a quorum at that time to
Yep.
vote on each of the warrant articles as well. So to know who is available and not available, we can actually then accordingly schedule the meetings.
Okay.
That's one thing. I think in terms of who to invite before we move further on, who to invite for the warrants and for the articles, I guess that would be in the, and this is where, Walter, I look up to you, right? That that would come after the summit meeting where we get to hear from the respective departments in terms of what questions we have, as well as what are the warrants where we want to vote without hearing and with hearing the departments.
Yeah, I mean, you right at this point, the people that are speaking at the summit, you wouldn't include them on had to be back yet, but some of them will, like you say. But there are certain other articles where you won't probably hear about them at the summit. And so we have a choice to try and think about, go through the warrant and look at some of those, or what I did in the past, which is you go through the warrant and people say, you know, whether they think they need more information, which is kind of
Yeah.
true on a lot of them. But I mean, last year's bills, we don't have any questions because one, there's no bills yet, and two, they're usually, you know, $108 for, you know. But there are other ones where you're certainly going to know that you're going to want to plan them.
Should we have a
And then
meeting
Walter,
after
what about
this?
the zoning? Because those won't get covered in the budget summit.
Right. So we would usually have the planning board, the planning director come, but a lot of times until they've had their public hearing, those tend to be in, you know, closer to early March or mid-March, honestly, often by the time they're settled, or late February. Whereas you could probably have that the student that's sponsoring the vote for the
Yeah.
16 or whatever sooner, because I think they've formulated their presentation already, right?
Yep.
So it just may make sense to go through the list and do that. You can do that tonight, or you could do that at a meeting after the summit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe we should have a meeting right after the summit on Monday, like we would normally have. Talk about the things, you know, which are in the warrant, which were presented at the summit, and then see if you have any additional questions on that, and document that.
That's a great idea.
And if we don't have any, if nothing was presented and we still have questions on those warrants, and then make a list of, you know, the right people to come to the meeting and, like, you know, interview them to get questions answered.
Do we know if planning comes under this capital preservation? Because I don't see planning in the.
They're not going to be at the summit.
They're not going to be at the summit because there are a few
They
articles.
only can
which-
cover so much, and it's usually police, fire, DPW, and
Yes.
schools, plus a couple other small things
Yeah.
that are more specialty items.
Right. Right.
But you can't get all, like, I guess IT's there this year. I don't know if there's a big IT thing, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it's you just can't.
And
get
police,
all the
fire, and DPW
departments.
will take most of the day.
And
Correct.
and between them and the schools, it's a huge majority of the budget,
Yeah,
dollar
yeah,
wise.
Because to your point, Chris, most of the articles, if you see, are all DPW, finance, IT, school,
So they will cover
So
their
they all will be
articles, and not just cover their budget,
But also the
the
articles.
DPW will go through their capital
Exactly.
items, so you'll
So the majority will be covered in the summit.
in the summit. Exactly.
more than half.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes, I would say majority is
70,
correct.
80%. Yeah.
But
yeah,
it
yeah.
often just creates more
Literally what
questions.
majority means.
Yeah, yeah.
I think the only
Yeah, I'm
ones
with
which.
But I wouldn't think you won't know 80% after the summit. It's more like about half.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of other articles.
I think-
and there are a lot of other questions that come you think about after the summit or a week later. Often we
Well,
think
it's done.
about it
Yep.
when we're going to vote. I mean, what was this again? So
I think that's why it's important for us to meet on Monday after the summit.
yeah, that's a
just
great
to
idea. Like a
think through.
debrief
Yeah.
and then make the plan. It
Sure.
seems like a good way to do it. And you'll
I will get that. I think the only
See,
ones,
we
the
have to
reason,
dive.
sorry.
No, no.
The
I'm
only
sorry.
reason I mentioned was because the warrant has few articles which we already know
Yeah.
from a couple from the petition and a few from the planning department.
Right.
And since they are not gonna be on the summit, should we preemptive and just
Yeah.
invite them to talk about those articles in the finance committee
Now,
meeting?
is Josh the planning department? Who's the planning department liaison?
That's a good question. Planning, I have that handy right now. That is Josh. You are right.
Okay. So I will volunteer to reach out to the planning department and just
Thank you.
ask, when do they think they'll be ready to present and be out? Usually you want them to have their public hearing too, because I like hearing what the public says about some of the
Proposals.
In the planning, yeah.
the articles that they're presenting, and there's also are still, I think, in very draft form. So I don't expect them right now, but I can at least make the contact.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Unless you-
So when you
you
say,
have enough to do.
Walter, public hearing, do you mean coming into this session and like, talking about it,
No,
or is there a
so
separate forum for
when
that?
the planning board does any of these things, they usually hold a public hearing where members of the public can come get a presentation and make comments on almost anything that they bring an article for, like a zoning change. It's their chance to explain it ahead of town meeting, and also get input from the public, much like so that's what I meant. And those are at their meetings,
Okay.
which you can watch again on Westborough TV if you want to see just that segment or something. And I often do to see those parts, just to see people who are willing to put the effort in to show up at a planning board meeting to comment. What are they saying or what are their interests? That's interesting to me. And then the town planner will come to one of our meetings and give a presentation. They'll also go to the select board and give a presentation. But yeah, the summit would have to be like multi-days to
We
get
would
everything.
accommodate all.
Yeah. makes
One day is plenty.
Yeah, and one day is much we can do. And also, like I said, that they're not always they're still working out zoning articles, town council looking at it. So they're not usually ready. We're lucky if they're ready by the time the warrant closes. On those, they're more complicated than they've already decided. What the capital stuff was decided a week or two ago. So those articles are written, right? Done.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah, I think most of the articles, the warrant articles, are school, DPW, etc. I think there are just few which are either planning or conservation. Conservation, I think, would be capital preservation. No, it would be separate.
I don't know which conservation articles you're talking about, but if it's a capital item, then it may be presented at the summit, so we could find out.
Okay. Yeah, this one is Article 16 related to hazardous tree removal.
Oh, tree removal,
The tree
Conservation Commission.
conservation. Yep.
So that may or may not, I don't know if you said it was getting covered at the,
The summit?
Oh, hazardous tree removal, yeah. It's also $75,000, so it's not, I mean, it's sort of makes sense. So they may present it there, or we could have someone
Yeah.
here to at least speak
So the
to it.
Community Preservation Committee is going to be on the
Yeah.
tri-board.
Right,
And so,
That makes
which
sense.
makes sense, right? So Jim came and talked to us last year too, because we're really moving towards the first projects. And so it makes sense because I think there's going to be, not one, I think it's going to be a lot of explaining the mechanism as well as the projects, because it is the first sort of funds expended from the CPC.
And there's a few of those in the Warren article.
Right. Exactly.
But if you look at the schedule, that is 15 minutes too, right? So I think it's really just Jim reminding us how this works and where those funds are coming from.
Yeah.
and so depending whether we get enough information on the projects themselves, we would have them in to
Talk about it in the AFC.
But the reality is, those projects are done by people who applied for them. So, for instance, one of them's the school department. So, they may speak to the project, right? It's the CPC's making the recommendation, but those funds
Yeah,
are being
that's a good
used
point.
by different departments for certain things, or restoring windows across the street here or something.
This is likely one where I think the liaison is going to want to talk to the CPC and understand who, if we do have questions about specific projects, who we have present, but they're not going to be huge items, I don't think either, right? So I think that's one where I think that we have, and I'm as guilty as anyone in the past, there are times when we get down a rabbit hole on a relatively immaterial, right? Like we debate the fish
Stocking.
every year. Every year, should the fish be on the warrant or in a budget?
Yeah,
Right.
It's a couple
For
$1,000.
$14,000.
it's 4,500 or something.
Yeah,
40,000.
it's like $4,000
1%.
and we debate it. So there's also, I think, some level of, we want to make sure we're spending our time on the material things. I mean, I say that with I am as likely as anyone to take us down some crazy rabbit hole. I will apologize in advance, but it is something to be mindful of as we're deciding who we want to hear from.
Well, just to
Probably
let you
we
know,
don't need to hear about the fish.
The fishes are still on the.
Yeah.
I mean, we're
Worry
going to
about
debate it. Just know we're going to debate the fish. It should be in their budget.
Almost doing it right now. So
Now we're going to debate it twice.
Now we're going to do it twice.
So who has these fishes?
Read the warrant article.
In the warrant, one of the budget lines is stocking Sandra Pond,
Okay.
but I think it should be just part of the rec department's budget as opposed to a separate $4,500 warrant line. But we debate it every year and then we go nowhere with it because it doesn't really matter. It's $4,500 and we're all in favor of stocking the pond. It just should be a budget item.
Did anybody give them that feedback?
Oh, yeah. I think to a large extent, a lot of the rec programs are fee for service programs. So this one is
This one's
something where
Got it.
you
Yeah.
just have a material expense, if you will. And then the justification is usually, it's clearly, it's a clear way to let the people decide whether we want to do it or not. So by separating it out, it seems a little odd, but yeah.
We should
whatever.
just ask Civic Club to do it.
Do what?
Civic Club to do it.
The Civic Club used to sponsor a chunk of it,
I know.
but the costs keep going up, and that $4,500 would be a really big donation. So.
All right. I think we are
All right.
debating.
Anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can move forward. Yep. So I think we have decided upon two of the.
Yeah, you have already debated fish. We'll do it again.
And who's the sponsor of the citizens petition on the voting 16,
I actually
17?
met her while I was selling trees at Civic Club this year. She was one of our student volunteers, and she says, "What do you think about kids voting at 16 or something like that in town elections?" And I said, I don't know. I'd have to think about it. I don't know much about it. Anyway, and then this showed up. So I think that's who it is, because she seemed like a very bright student. And one of the
I was talking with the town clerk today, and I think that one did come from active high school students.
they have some club or something. I don't know.
So then who do we get information
Oh,
from?
that's a good question. We could probably
We could probably ask
work
the town
through
clerk to get.
through the town clerk.
Why don't can we get the high school students to come and present?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I mean, we have to figure out how to contact them, but yes, we can ask them.
I think that would be such a wonderful experience, both for me to hear the next generation speak, as well as for them to actually present that to us and, answer questions.
Yeah. The only question.
Other way.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, there's another one for the town clerk as well.
The other
Right.
Yeah, so the town clerk,
Has the,
well, there's the regular election stuff, but they're
Right.
looking
The
for
60
more
days.
election equipment.
No, yeah, but they get that,
So
and then they
they
get the
could come
60-day
and
thing.
explain it.
Right.
Oh, that's not the town clerk.
It's for the clerk to be able to do her due
Oh, yeah,
diligence.
yeah. I think that's sponsored by the select board,
By the select board.
I believe so.
Yeah, I talked with the town clerk briefly, and I'll have a better update at our next meeting, because she's already thinking about things beyond this year based on the quality of equipment, what's available. Just so you guys all know, most of our voting-related equipment is, what did she say, 2014? And it's just starting to become dated.
Yeah.
And there's new systems that are coming out, but they're not available yet. But so she's expecting that we're going to end up needing to purchase new equipment, not this year, but next year.
Well, yeah,
Just-
and there's an
But there's-
article for some equipment.
Yeah, there is in here.
Yes. Yeah, just,
But this is for next year, really.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it looks like most
yes,
of
and
it's
she's
covered,
trying-
like you said, except
She's
for
trying to stay
planning.
on top of what you need.
I think the only question I have is that for the high school students, I would love to hear them, but then on the voting rights, it's nothing on the finance, or would it be something that AFC would vote? We can hear
Yes.
them, but would we vote?
Yeah, if it's an
Oh, yeah.
article,
Yeah.
we're recommending.
We make recommendations,
Right.
whether they're financial or not.
Perfect.
Zoning
Is it-
articles are not financial.
Yep.
So, I
So
mean,
our
that's why we're
purpose-
called advisory finance committee, because we're supposed to give advice.
Yeah, our purpose is to make recommendations.
So
They're not all financial.
do we know if we approve that article, will they start voting as of next year?
So it would,
if-
first of all,
I
anything
think
has
you'd
to
have
get
to go through the
approved by the
Attorney
state
General.
legislature.
Okay.
Yeah, it has to go through the state, but also it's only for local, like they can't vote for presidential.
Sure.
We can't give them that permission. It's only for things like our select board or our school committee.
Okay.
It's things very
I
local to
would
Westborough.
suspect it wouldn't be in time for the November election.
Okay. What
I would
about,
suspect
what about,
maybe next spring, which is when the town elections are, and next spring's town meeting, maybe.
what about the financial implications? I mean, what does it mean in terms of running an election if all these high school students, which are roughly about 500
It would cost
kids-
more, depending how many students voted, I guess, too. Yeah.
Okay. So that
I mean, there's all sorts, that's why I was interested in learning more about it. I'm not,
Yeah.
Right.
certainly wasn't an expert, I'm not an expert at it, or even formulated in my mind if I think it's a good idea.
no, but
But
for
I'm
us to-
interested in hearing what they're presenting.
What the justifications
Yep.
and thinking is.
But you're saying there might be a financial implication.
Exactly. Somebody else has to
It's
do
part of
that
the
evaluation.
consideration.
Yeah. If say we agree to that warrant in the town meeting this year, what are the financial implications? I mean,
Yeah.
like, is anybody doing that evaluation even before we make a decision, or
Oh,
It
there's-
may not be that much, because honestly,
Right.
most town-wide elections only get so many people showing up, so
We already have the equipment.
a couple hundred students showing up in addition to the 2,600 residents that show up. I mean, I don't know if there's actually,
I think
but it's a good thought. I mean, that's why you got to really think things through. I guess I mean, I understand probably the positives is getting people engaged in your community
process.
early, but do they have the background yet to make those decisions? I don't know.
But from a process standpoint, I mean, like, from the way I understand is you cannot guess how many people will come and vote in any town election. So you get to have total number of registered voters times the ballot
Oh, that's
papers
fine. Could be true.
printed out.
Right, but, yeah.
So that's a cost which we have to think
So
about.
how many 16 and 17-year-old citizens are in our schools? 400?
I can
Per
tell
grade?
you
4 to 500, yeah.
roughly about 600 at least.
For 2 years?
Yeah. I
Because
mean,
18-year-olds are already included, so
each grade has about roughly 350 kids.
right, but you already
So
have
you
to
could
be
be
16
junior
and not 18.
10th grade kids
Yeah,
in that.
So, but there were 11,000 registered voters. So I don't know if it's a huge,
Lift. I agree. It may
Yeah.
not be, but I think,
I think there's other implications too.
yeah.
yeah, I mean,
All
I
right, so
think,
we're
I think
gonna-
it's
All right, so we'll
more
invite them.
philosophical than financial.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
anyway, I'd like to,
Yeah.
it'd be interesting to learn what they're thinking or why they're thinking, and I don't think there's very many
then
other
maybe able
examples
to
of
give
it.
us- They may be able to give us examples of other communities that have already adopted this concept.
I think, yeah, I think I
Is
heard
there
about
are-
that. I don't, there might be one other or something. They're wearing a lot.
I think it's Newton or Brookline.
Really?
Yeah. I'm not positive.
You know, I'm also curious is what is the turnout of the 16 and 17-year-olds, whether it's Brookline or Newton? What's the percentage that actually shows up and participates?
Can-
Well, anyway,
Ultimately,
I think
votes.
through John Arnold works with most of the people that, and I know I'm pretty positive he worked with this person. He might be a good person, way to get a contact.
Sure.
Alrighty.
Perfect.
What else can we beat a dead horse with?
I don't know. We can move on.
I think we can move on.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Then we go find a horse.
So I think we covered. I think we pretty much anything else on the budgets before we move.
No, I think we
budget
covered the
warrants? I
fish
think
and
we're
the
good, right? So we have few folks lined up, Esabet, as we discussed, as well as post summit. I think we will get together to see how do we line up our folks for the upcoming AFC meetings, and also the availability of our members. Everyone should be working, I guess, after December, but we'll see. Okay, all right. The next is the liaison updates. Any updates from the liaison?
I have 1 or 2 or 3, something.
Ooh, look at you.
So actually, this is the first
I
AFC
didn't
meeting
even have
in a
assignment.
long time that the library meeting was the same week. It was Tuesday, and our meeting is Thursday versus it's going to be next week. So overall, things are going quite well. They show us some, pictures of the work is going extremely well. There were 2 areas of concern brought up this month's meeting. The first is they've discovered that the main power switch, the power panel that turns off the whole building, when you flipped it off, it didn't actually shut the electricity off. That's a
That
problem,
seems
it
fine.
turns out. So one of the uses of the contingency fees will be to replace that. That's not a huge thing in so far, not affecting the schedule, and it's not huge dollars. It's a sort of 50K kind of problem or something. There is a bigger problem, which may affect schedule and certainly would use up a good, I'm going to say probably quarter of the contingency or something like that. And that's, there are chiller pipes that run through the building that deliver the cold, I think it's like water or liquid for the air conditioning, the way the air conditioning goes in the building. Apparently, 20 something years ago or 50 years ago, whenever these were done, they were wrapped in some product that has since been taken off the market because it doesn't do a good job as a vapor barrier. So it's a cold pipe, you get condensation, and these pipes rusted. So then they went and they did an inspection. They found the outside of these pipes were rusty. And while they aren't rusting through, the engineers that looked at it said that the connections where you connect pipes together and things like that are compromised. And if you really want a system that's not going to leak for the next 30, 50 years, that ought to be replaced. So replacing those pipes is something that they're quoting and investigating right now. But that has a potential for being a couple $100,000 sort of thing.
Why are we going back with the pipes again? I mean, why are we not using any modern technology if you have to replace? Is that more additional expense?
We're using a mixture of modern and older technologies because we're repairing the building, not replacing it. So when you have equipment that still works, you don't throw out everything.
Yeah, new HVAC system, we're talking million. So a couple 100,000 for pipes seems like short money. But I guess my question would be, is this work that benefits from being done when there's nobody in the building right now?
Oh,
Or-
absolutely.
Okay.
You couldn't.
And the walls are
I know
open.
the ceilings are down. There's no
Yeah.
ceiling tiles in, and the walls are all apart. And so this is the time where they're really finding up all the things.
Yeah.
At some point, pretty soon, they'll be not
I mean,
ripping
it'd
anything
be
new up.
really silly to close the building up and then have to reopen it to fix a problem in 3 years.
Yeah. Anyway, so everything else in terms of the work that's going on in the looks really good, and the reports we're getting now are much more useful. And I gotta say, the owner's project manager does a good job representing our interests, pushing back on not slipping the dates. As of the moment, we're still at completion, last week of August. We'll see, where we end up at the end, but things are progressing well.
When will we know?
Working on bringing in the electricity now. I saw them digging out there. The water from
It's
the
all
streets
done.
is all done.
Yeah.
So
That's where actually, sorry.
go ahead.
So that's where actually my next question was that have they looked at what are the potential other discoveries? Because every project has these kind of discoveries, like, oh, while I dug it up, I found that this is not working. Have they looked at what else is remaining and potential of what could come up further? They can't see what what is out there, but at least they can figure
So
out.
we've had other change orders that were more minor in things. They took down the wall surfaces and had to do a little more time. But generally, the impression I get is most the thing is completely torn apart now. So you're finding, and in fact, they mentioned these rusty pipes last month. They just discovered them then. So from the time they find something to you have a solution and a proposal for a fix, it takes a while with these processes, because it's a whole process of the construction company getting quotes, and then people pushing back, and the scope and this, and accepting it, and then the committee has to vote, which only happens. So we actually may have an additional meeting sooner if they come up with a plan for these pipes so that can keep going. But generally, you don't really know when you find everything, but my impression from them a month or two ago was we're getting to the point where we've torn down all the stuff, so we're kind of finding we found a lot of
Whatever,
stuff. So I think risk becomes lower and lower as you go forward.
Good to know.
So
Thank you.
do we have an estimate for this pipe at this point, or they're still working on that?
Still working. So what we've agreed to actually is the demolition price, which I think is on the order of 40,000 or 50,000 or something. That's sort of based on, and then and then they're going to know better. They'll be better able to estimate the cost of replacing them at that point.
Okay.
Is what I was told. And I think the initial estimate seemed a little bit high to our owner's project manager, so that's why they want to push more detail and know more about it before things. There's an example of what they did that with the removal of bookcases. They were presented with an estimate, and it was $6,000 or something, and they thought it was way too much, and so we agreed to do it on time materials, and it ended up being like $2,400 to do that work. And so these guys are pretty on the ball.
Yeah, the OPMs know their stuff.
Yeah. So I'm comfortable. We also have a couple of construction experts on the committee, not me, but others. And so we get good advice.
You also mentioned that there could be potential schedule impact. Any kind of information on what that impact could be? Like, is it weeks, months? Okay.
Oh, not months. The one thing I saw had like this adds 2 days, but our OPM pushed back and said you should be able to do it in the same amount of time. I haven't seen anything
Okay.
that's big. I mean, yeah. So as long as work can proceed in parallel on other things, I think you keep going. It's hard for me to imagine a project of this ilk would actually finish exactly on time, because I would be amazed if that happens. But so far, they're still on time. And, like you say, it goes. And then, but we do have, our owner's project manager basically has someone on site all the time they're working. And then they do weekly, meetings and inspections, and they do a lot of follow-up. And the architect as well has people that come in because they're questioned on, hey, this light bulb doesn't quite fit here or something. So, they make adjustments. It's fascinating.
Yeah, and I think the challenge of asking if they found all the potential problems is if you look hard enough, you will find more. I mean, invariably. They're like, it's like those studies we do for like any different project around a town. You can expect they will ask for more people. Any research study is going to say you need more people. So as in construction, if you look hard enough, you'll find more. Ideally, you're working with OPMs who are making sure that all the right basic work is being done, and all the right people are checking all the things that need to be done while they're doing it. So
Yeah. There'll always be on notes. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and just that if you like mini golf, there's indoor mini golf at the library this weekend at the community center. There's a Friday night adult only event that's like a paid fundraiser kind of thing, $25 or something.
bring your own woods and irons.
Putting.
And no, they have the clubs. They've done this the last few
Never
years
mind.
at the other library. It's quite a bit of fun.
Yeah.
But on Saturday for families, it's open and it's free, and they can go play. And it's anyway. It's the only chance to play the community center course. I'm saying. So. It's an exciting opportunity. It's like playing in Augusta or something, right?
It is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Yeah.
Don't miss out.
Well, unless the rec department
Once in a lifetime, every year.
But dress warm.
Exactly.
Why is the community center cold?
It's indoors.
Yeah, it was indoor. It's indoor.
Yeah.
No shovels required.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently they have music and a bar.
What day did you say they were doing it?
This is Friday night.
Next Friday.
Yeah, not this
Okay.
coming Friday. It's a week Friday, correct?
Oh, okay.
I went to that last year. It was fun.
Yeah, Maureen did a good job.
Yeah.
With the committee.
Nice. Awesome. Any other updates, Walter?
No, that's it for my involvement.
Awesome. All right. Anything?
I don't have any committee assignments.
Yeah, that needs to be
Yep.
fixed.
Yeah, I think one of the things I started.
What's the still nice looking like so far this year?
Say that again, please.
Cold, frozen.
What is,
Snow and ice budget.
what is
So
the,
Oh, the budget.
last time I looked, they were, I want to say 45% of the total. I mean, they appear to be fine. We aren't expecting a big storm. There was some pretty significant.
Not this Sunday.
Yes, Sunday is supposed to be 9
That's what I
inches.
mean. We're expecting, yeah.
We are expecting.
We
it.
are
I thought you
expecting a
said
big
we're
snow.
not.
Oh, no, we are.
Yeah, my general impression is we're well ahead of last year in number of times the trucks have come by my house,
Yeah.
which is my metric.
We were right on par for overtime versus last year.
Not for nothing, but
Have they been able to hire enough people? Like, I know surrounding towns are short-staffed. Are they doing okay?
They are struggling with contractors from what I hear.
Okay.
Because the snow has really been inconsistent the last few years, some of the contractors are struggling with sort of the requirement to carry insurance and then hope it snows.
Right.
So I think that that's been a challenge.
Well, who's the liaison?
I think that's what I was thinking. that-
I'm not the liaison, I
I'm the
just happen
liaison and
to
I
know
get
some
those
things.
snow and ice updates, so I can find
Oh,
out.
and the
these-
chair usually gets them, but you're both.
Yeah.
Well, so I think I'm still getting them
Oh, you
because
get
I was
them.
the chair.
Okay, yeah, until you tell them otherwise, you'll get them. So you'll get the snow and ice. But anyway, we're
Yeah,
okay. Oh, so
because
that is
there
one
was-
thing we have to, as a group, decide prior to town meeting, prior to the warrant closing, is whether we want to add more money into the AFC reserve from free
Reserve.
cash as well. So that's why Beth's question is pretty germane, because if we, the largest chunk that would come out, aside from legal expenses lately, it would be snow and ice, which you could
Correct. Right.
use quite a bit of quickly.
Yeah.
They're pretty good at spending down the snow and ice on fixing things and equipment that are used for snow and ice anyway.
Yeah.
So
Do we have any town equipment or is it all outsourced to
a
external contractors?
lot of it's town equipment.
Town equipment.
Yeah, it's both. So the contractors, what you find is we pay a stipend every year in order to get contractors. So whether or not they're going to plow or not, they're going to get some amount of money each year, which is paid, I think.
They get a
monthly.
guarantee, yeah.
Yeah. Plus-
And then plus
Time
they bill when they actually do stuff. But the department has many plows and and I think it's an all hands on deck thing, right? When it
Yeah.
snows, and all the sub departments of the DPW are doing something with the snow.
Yeah, when it plows, the guys from the cemetery, water, sewer, highway, everybody's out plowing, everybody's out salting. So we use contractors. To be clear, my husband works for the DPW, which is why, although I'm not the liaison, I'm just jumping in to answer questions. When it comes to salting, pretty much everybody works. We don't use contractors for that, but we bring contractors in when it snows. So when we're actually doing snow removal, they use contractors.
Interesting. You interested, Chris? Get a plow, buy a plow.
You can drive up and down my road 6 times.
Oh, I think Ruggles is fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Ruggles is always fun.
Yeah. Cool. I think one question I did have was, we need to visit those liaison assignees as well. So I guess we are finalizing on JNU taking up the police.
Sure.
And there are a few others as well that that Josh had, specifically being, I think, active transportation, insurance advisory, police. We talked about insurance, zoning, board of appeals, and planning department. I think
I mean, planning is pretty real. The other ones don't meet that often,
yeah.
if any.
The other ones, we certainly have had times even where there was not a liaison. Like
Yeah.
insurance, we periodically have not had a liaison unless there was some need.
When Dolan was on the board, he works in insurance, so he was a natural, and we put him on the insurance committee, right? Because he's like an expert.
Yeah.
The
And
rest
the point
of
of
us don't
contact
know
there-
enough about it
Yeah.
to be very useful,
Yeah.
I think.
I mean, the
I
point
actually
of
think that might be the only time we've actually had a liaison. And I'm not even sure that Dolan did anything because there's
Yeah.
not a lot to liaise.
yeah. Plus, I think it's the town manager, right? You liaise with. So I think, if we hear updates on insurance, we'll get to know
Right.
as a AFC as a whole.
And the zoning board of appeals, while they make rulings, I don't think they ever much sponsor articles or
Right.
even
Okay.
have a budget. Maybe they do for printing or something or putting in public
They have
announcements.
legal fees,
Yeah,
because they have to post
but it isn't,
their budget's small.
right.
What is active transportation?
What is it?
Yeah.
It's a group that, it used to be called the Bicycle and Pedestrian Safety Committee or something like that, but they realized it's a little more than that. So it's basically a committee that studies things for transporting things, which can be bicycles, walking, driving,
explanation.
busing,
Or
Yeah.
crosswalks.
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 Yeah, all of
So, and
they're-
they're usually, are they involved in the B-Walt stuff too, right?
I believe, yeah.
They're the history, like, B-Walt moved into this new name because B-Walt sort of got a bad rep. But so this active transportation committee, I believe, is the one that like says, hey, we need to place an active crosswalk here, or, you know, make those types of recommendations.
Got it. So I
They
think
probably meet about monthly or something like that. I think it's a heavy lift. And they do have occasional articles.
since you're following up, Walter, on the planning, is it okay to keep your name for now for
Sure.
zoning as well?
Sure. I think that'll never, yeah. It's fine.
Gee,
And
I
active-
accidentally got two.
Yeah, but I don't think we ever asked the zoning board
No,
to
I
come
don't think
here.
so either.
Planning is usually,
The insurance, I think, yeah, and active transportation.
I'm getting the feeling that Chris wants to do that.
I heard him volunteer.
Yeah, I mean, you
I
have
just
to
feel
give
like
Chris some.
he's still getting a hang of things, so maybe
Oh, that's a good
I
one to
should
get a
still get
hang
some
of.
liaisons.
We may not have any questions for him.
Active liaising.
active liaison. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's a good
Yeah.
warm up.
It is a good one.
Yeah, one thing
and
I
we're all
re-
here for you. questions.
Thank you for all the support.
Yeah.
Just think about this very shortly. You're not going to be the new guy, which is amazing because you just started
know.
last week.
I'm the luckiest guy for me to be the shortest, newest guy.
Shortest guy is a road
You know,
show.
there's
Short one.
Don't
there's
need a
been
history
some
lesson.
very short new people.
Well, I don't know about this short. I think you missed the beginning, but Josh is retiring from the board, so we're going to have a new member short.
Does John have somebody in mind already?
He, I believe, had interviewed some people when he filled that spot and might have a person, but he has to go back and find out if they're
Oh, okay.
still interested in it. So maybe yes, in which case it be here, be here soon.
We'd love to have you
He
on
or she,
board.
I don't know who it is.
Or her.
Hey, can we go back to the 16, 17-year-olds? According to Chat GBT, she's very knowledgeable. She
Yeah,
said that there's
you know her.
several towns and cities that have passed home rule petitions, but they're all awaiting the Mass legislature and governor to approve. So
So
they're,
the 16-year-olds will be 90 by the time it's happening.
that's an excellent
So
point.
maybe this is really
It's
voting for the
Boston and
12-year-olds. And they're 16 and what happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's Somerville, Boston, Southborough, Acton,
Southborough, interesting.
Yeah.
In Brookline.
Northampton, Concord, Shelburne, Wendell.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah, but
In Brookline.
yeah, she didn't find Brookline.
What is ChatGPT?
Okay,
So I
tell me.
thought it was interesting too, because the kids that are doing this would not benefit from this because they're going to graduate probably from high school this year.
They will be able to vote before it can
Yeah,
happen.
they're going to be able to vote anyway, but they're doing
Right.
it.
That's great. We can get them on the
Legacy.
taxpayer list too.
I don't think you pay taxes because you vote. There's no poll tax.
No, I know.
Right.
I know.
All right.
Okay.
We have all the updates. Saroja or Beth, any updates? Liza, updates from you?
No, nothing right now. But I have to get back in sync with my liaison. I'd attended and met with some folks before the Christmas holiday, but I'm gonna have to get into sync and in track with that. But more to follow from me.
Awesome. Yeah, what I'll do
Yeah.
is after this, I'll just share this Liaison update sheet with everyone so that everyone is aware about who's doing what. I think it will be a good chance for
Yeah.
everyone to know
Yeah.
as well. There's one other thing, as you said, Walter, I started doing was subscribe to those agendas and the minutes, so you can actually go. I figured out that you can know what's coming up. They have a nice calendar as well, so
Yeah.
something we can actually start doing more proactively. You know, if your liaison department is having any meeting, maybe just drop a note to them like, hey, if you have, any updates for the AFC.
Can you share the link also? Because I tried to look for it, I couldn't find it easily.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Yeah, sure. I'll take that as a note.
So the other thing coming up is next Tuesday night at the select board meeting will be the budget hearing, not to be confused with the budget summit. But that basically Christie will present the budget to the select board, and there is a part where public can comment. And it's a good warm up for the budget summit. So if you can't be there, I would recommend watching it before Thursday morning, because it'll get your mind into what it is and it'll let you ask better questions when you see it the second time.
Is it same time, 7 to 9?
6:15.
Oh, the select board meeting? I don't know. I think it starts
Yeah.
at 6:15, that part here.
Yeah.
But you can watch it at any time on YouTube, Westborough TV. So
Yep.
you can't make that. And probably a half hour long or something.
Yep. Awesome. So before we close, I think
Great Hall.
Oh, is it at
Yeah, it's at Great Hall.
the select board meeting?
The public hearings,
Interesting. Well, then the whole meeting must. Well,
whatever.
look at the agenda for the select board and it'll tell you where to go.
There you go.
Yeah.
So it's at the Grand Hall,
That's
Worst case, cross the street.
right? Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It might be across the street, maybe because.
We will be on Thursday.
yeah, that's
Oh,
where
on
the
Thursday, we're definitely
summit
across the
will
street,
be
but on
on the other
Tuesday-
side of the
That's what I
building.
have
Yeah.
listed.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
It could be wrong.
Yep.
You can always check the agenda.
So we're all taking a day off from work Thursday?
That's
Yes.
what it
Yeah.
Got
Yeah,
it
that's
all
right.
approved and everything.
is. Yep. So, I think we have a few next steps. I'll send out the liaison as well as the link for the town website where you can subscribe for all the agendas. I think for the eating preferences doesn't need to be open meeting. You can put me an email what your preference is and I'll let Amanda know about.
So it's just
eating
really if you're allergic to something or you're
Right, exactly.
vegetarian or something.
Yep, exactly. All right,
Something.
I think we are good.
Move to adjourn?
Super picky.
I'll second the motion.
You second the
beat him
motion?
up.
Okay. Ahuja, yes.
Blumberg, yes.
Bradley, yes?
Clap yes.
From CS?
Hansoga, yes.
Okay.
Hansoga, yes.
Oh, okay. Now I can see.
Now come see yes.
That's the
Sorry, Saroja. I jumped ahead of you.
Leslie, yes.
O'Day, yes.
We are adjourned, Westborough.
800.
Maybe we'll get someone
you.
with the latter part of the
Thank you.
alphabet to join.
Seems
Thanks, guys.
likely.
Bye.
Eat hungry.
Thank you so much.
Well,